Okay, we are going to walk through the process in this tutorial video of adding student data to the benchmark data for constructive response questions. Before I get started, we are going to be doing this in Google Docs, and I do want to make a note. I'm going to be doing this in Google Chrome, which I highly recommend. Anything you do, Google Docs, Google anything, that you download and install Google Chrome. It just handles it a lot better. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to log into Google Apps. The quickest way to do that from the Moore County webpage is to go to Departments, then click on Technology, then click on Quick Links over here on the left-hand side. You're going to see the link right here, Google Apps for Education. I've also asked the webmaster to add another link in case you need your Google Apps password reset. So hopefully in the near future there will be a link right under here to reset your password in case you've forgotten it. Okay, so I'm going to click on Google Apps for Education, and it brings up this new tab. When you enter in your username, I'm going to use a teacher who the account is pretty much deactivated. So when you do use your username, it's going to be the first letter of your first name, your last name, and you don't need to put in the rest because that's going to be right here for you. And then the password. And again, if you don't remember that password, there should be a link there, and we can also send that link out to you in a Google form. Alright, so you've got your password, you can log in. The first thing it does is it takes you right to your email. Now, this is the first way that you can get into the document that's been shared out with you. The document will probably be here in your inbox, so it will definitely be shared out by me, Steve Johnson. And so if I click on this document that's shared out, and I click here, it'll take me directly to that document. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it that you probably want to get used to is to just come up to here and click on Drive. This gets you to all your Google Docs. And this is a good way to do it just because as you get more and more Google Docs shared with you throughout the year or the years, it's just a better way to keep it organized and to know exactly where everything is. It's in your Google Drive. When you first get to Google Drive and you're on My Drive, you're going to see the documents that you yourself own or have created. The document that's been shared with you will not be in that list. It will be over here under Shared with Me. When you click on that, you're going to see the documents that have been shared with you. You should see your school and the benchmark scoring sheet that should be assigned to you. I just did Aberdeen Elementary just as an example. So now that I can see that sheet, I'm just going to click on that sheet and bring it up. This is what the sheet looks like, and actually this is from a test I've been running, so I'm going to take these out real quick. When you bring up the sheet, it will be blank the first time you look at it, and I just want to walk you through what the sheet looks like. Alright, each school has its own spreadsheet, and then the teachers of that school are down here at the bottom. I've taken these names directly from the fall benchmarks in Classcape. And so if they're not right, I'll show you in a little bit how to change that. But if they are, you're good to go. So here's the response sheet. So all you'll do, real simple, is put in the names of the kids here. Okay. Poor Sally, she couldn't get in there. Alright, so you'll put the name of the kids in there. I also would suggest that you put in the name of the scorers here. On these sheets, it's going to say name of scorer. And so you probably want to go into that, and you can double click to edit the cell, and just put in the names of the scorers, the people that are actually scoring the question. I've just put myself and Miss Sharp, since this is Miss Sharp's class. And you can do that the same over here. Just double click, edit that cell, and put the names of the scorers in. Now, these fields right here, these cells where it says division over 0, do not worry about any of those cells. Those are the cells that we're going to get the output. So the only ones you need to worry about editing are the student names, and of course adding the scores under each question. The rest of it, don't worry about. I'll show you here in a minute. Also, you've got the name of the teacher up here. So you're scoring your students, and you come in here and you need to record that data. So I'm just going to put in some data and show you what happens. Let's say they agreed nicely on Bob. Sally, they had some disagreement. Frank agreed, and then Billy not so much. As you'll see, as you put in the numbers, you'll see the average score for both score 1 and score 2 pop up over here. You'll also see, if you scroll down, it will give you an average of that first column, and the same thing with the second column. Let's do the second constructive response. I'm just going to do these real quick. And again, you see the average down here, but what now you'll see is you'll see a new number start to form. This is the total average. So what that does, this number is the average of the score from the first response question, and the average of, and taking the average with this score of the second response question. So it's averaging these two boxes here. So that gives you your total average. And so that's how it is. That's basically all you need to do. You don't need to worry about these columns. Just worry about putting student names in and their scores, and everything else should take care of itself. Now you'll see each teacher has their own sheet. Now I do want to make sure that you know, let's say I've got a teacher down here that's misspelled or is incorrect. You can change that. All you do is click on the arrow and you can rename that sheet. Let's say there's a teacher in here that does not have a class. Let's say that there's a teacher sheet in here that is not needed. All you do is click on the arrow and then delete that sheet. And finally, what if there's not enough teachers? Let's say there's another class that somehow got missed and wasn't in Classcape when I did this. All you do is you're going to want to duplicate the last sheet. So you come to the last sheet, and I'm going to click on Duplicate. It's going to make an exact copy. So here, once it's duplicated, you'll want to come in here and put the new teacher's name. And you want to come down here and rename this sheet to match that name. So there it is. You've got your new sheet, and you can go ahead and fill that sheet in just the same. Now I'm going to go ahead and delete that sheet because I don't think it'll be needed at Aberdeen, so we'll go ahead and take it out. And last but not least, what if there is a situation where you're trying to score with someone and they do not have editing rights to the document? You can certainly just sit down together and do it. Just have the person that can see it come in here and record the scores. But if you'd like them to have document and editing rights to see this, all you do is come up here and you're going to share the document to them. So you click on the share button and you can add their names down here. When you're adding them, you're going to want to put in their email address for Google Apps. And so it's the same as the regular address. For example, if I want to add S. Johnson, I'm going to do sjohnson@ncmcs, but you're going to need to put in .net instead of .org. The .net is the Google Apps address. And if you don't put .net, it will not show up in their Google Drive. So just put the person that you want to add and hit share and save, and it will give them rights to see this in their Google Drive. All right, so that is pretty much it. That's about as straightforward as we can make it. Again, all you do is put your student names over here, enter their scores, and the rest of these should change automatically. If you got any questions or any comments or suggestions of how this could be better, just go ahead and email me, Steve Johnson, at sjohnson@ncmcs.org. Thanks.